Hello, hello. I think, is this thing on? Hello? Hello, Denise. I like my chat over here. Good morning, Melanie. Gonna put there. Hello, hello. Rory say hello too. He's here. Hello, Tony. Hello, Mary. Hello, Tequila. Happy Saturday. Hey, I love your coverage. Can stay. What? Wanted to say thank you. Thank you for stopping by, Mary. I appreciate it. Hello, Tonya. Tonya? Tonya? I'm not sure how to say the name. I'm sorry. Hello, Ona. Hey, greetings from Tijuana. I would like to taste some of you guys' chocolate and waffles. That's the only two things that I know about Belgium. All right, Rory, go play a little bit. Daddy's gotta stream. Are you going to cover Darrell's police interrogation? Which one? Because there's a video. It's called. Wait, this is too loud. Hey, Brandon. Hey, let's go Ravens. Do they play today? Is this the week where they play on Saturday? I need to check on that. Let's see. Let's go for it live. NFL. Well, hey, 2 hours from now. So yeah, they're gonna play right now. Of course, you will give me an address PO, and I'll send you. Hey, I will get a PO box. I mean, I will do it. That guy's probably could do. That guy's assembling something. Probably could do it while we're waiting for it. Yeah, he could assemble a whole set while we wait for Darrell. Hello, Miss Washington. By the way, the channel that we're looking right now is called A Life in a Brick. It's from a good friend. It's his personal channel, and it will mean a lot for me if you guys could go over there and subscribe to it. He's a really nice guy. That's the link. Yeah, but he's been working on this channel for a while, and he's really good. I really like his style. Like, I don't even have it framed correctly. Let me. Oh, you know, that's his channel. He's a really nice guy. Like in real life, it's good. Okay, I'm gonna have the Brooks video to clown until today. That will be awesome. Yeah, we can put a Brooks video. I'm down with that. I'm just here to chill with you guys. I love to. I'm waiting to rate your suit attire. I'll get I need to get a new suit because I had one, and the thing is I don't make a lot of money, so I just had the one suit before, and then that kind of wore down, so I stopped using it. It's raining in Baltimore, some snow and sleet, not many stars are playing, but it's a rivalry. Yeah, I mean, this game is not, it's just like, this game is just gonna be, I don't know, the secondary players just getting some airtime, which is fine. I mean, it is the Steelers, so there's not a lot of competency there. I'm just saying. I'm having a cinnamon coffee cappuccino. It starts, according to this, it starts 2 hours from now. 3 hours? Hello, Brandon. Hey, Brandon, thank you for becoming a member. Thank you. All right, so you guys want to see some Brooks? I'll put it on the background. I just want, like I said, I just want to chill with you guys. So, also, it'll be 1:30 for me. I just want to chill with you guys. Whatever you guys want to see, I'll put it on the background, and I'll comment on it. Where do I live? I live in Tijuana. It's Milwaukee. Hey, welcome from Milwaukee. Yeah, if you see here, see. This is where I live. Right below California. In this little corner. So Wisconsin is over here. That's quite a trip. The thing that I'm kind of I don't really like that they get a week off. I think they, in my experience, I think they throw off their rhythm if they don't play. But I hope for the best this year. This year feels good. Hey, yeah, Tijuana have some really cheap doctors, and they do good work. Like they rebuild my front teeth while I chip it. So, and it's not that expensive. Quartzsite, Arizona. Arizona. So you're not that far. I don't know where Quartzsite is. Flagstaff? St. George? Sedona? Hey, Brandon, thank you for gifting a membership. And it went to Tony. Hey, thank you. The weather right now in Tijuana is 16 degrees Celsius. 57 Fahrenheit. So it's to me that's a little chilly. Like right now, it's a little cold. I know that a lot of people that live on Wisconsin and all those states up north don't have that. Good morning, Brenda. Yeah, yeah. If you guys want to like restoring my front tooth, like it was really cheap. It was cheap in half, and it cost me like $60, $70 around that. 36 in Virginia. That's cold. That's way colder. Yeah. In 2 weeks, I'm gonna. I miss Amanda. Hey, Amanda. Much love from Georgia. Hey, well, let's see where Georgia is. That's not it. Georgia. That's here, right? Oh, there it is, Georgia. Oh, it's right next to Florida. Nice. Hey, I will open a Jester Airbnb. Why not? I mean, I only have a 2-bedroom apartment, so it's not that big. But you can hang out with Rory. Good afternoon, Sarah. 52 in Arizona. Hello, Christine. BA? Is BA Virginia? I don't know a lot of. Is this BA? Hello from Alaska. Hey, Alaska must be really cold right now, right? I'm I assume that you guys live you live right here, right? That this is like the only I have to take care of my mom. Just want to say hello. All right, Jojo. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. This is like the only town in Alaska, right? Like, I don't know how many towns are there because that's like the tundra. I guess Fairbanks should be something else. Yeah, there's people in Fairbanks. They have an airport there. All right. There's plenty of berries. Yeah, I can imagine that. I mean, Alaska is huge. Like, if you see the size of Alaska right here, like that's almost the west coast, all the west coast of the United States. You can fit half of the United States in Alaska. VA is Virginia. All right, let's see. Let's see how many Sporkle. I'm gonna do the geography states. Let's see how many of you guys states I can name. Keep in mind that I live all my life in in Mexico. Let me. What can I do to so you guys to see? There you go. Uh, 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 there it is. Let's see how many countries of you guys I can identify. All right, let's start with the big ones. We have California, which is the one that I'm closer to. We have Texas, Florida. We have Alaska. We have Hawaii. We have Arizona. We have New York. Maine. Is Seattle? Seattle is the capital. Nevada. Ohio. Utah. Hello, Christine from Scotland. Welcome. Alright, I'm not gonna look at chat. I'm gonna try to do it on my own. We have North Carolina. South Carolina. 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 There you go. We have Virginia. West Virginia. We have North Dakota. South Dakota. Those are easy to remember because they have North and South. South Dakota. We have in this place. It's gonna be Nebraska. Yeah. Oklahoma. Alabama. Georgia. Missouri. Mississippi. Hey, there you go, Mississippi. We have Alabama. No. Atlanta. No, that's Georgia. We have Maine. I already put Maine. Wisconsin. We have the Michigan. That's where Darrell Brooks was born. We have Illinois versus Allen. We have I already put Utah. Utah? Yeah. Utah, Ohio, New Mexico, important. Oof. I'm halfway there. I'm pretty proud of being halfway there. Seattle, Washington. Montana. I know this one it's like a four letter state. It's not Utah, it's not Ohio. It's Connecticut. Connecticut. Rhode Island. Is Rhode Island a state? Rhode Island. I think I'm spelling right as Iceland. I don't know how to spell Rhode Island. Ah, there you go. Rhode Island, West Virginia, New York. I'm missing 20. That's a lot. Idaho. Arkansas. I struggle a lot with the countries on the northeast and the south, and apparently with the ones on the middle too. Colorado. Yeah, I think I'm tap out. All right, let's. Yeah, those I struggle a lot with all this north, the east and the middle. Oregon, or I should have gone to Oregon. Hey, Nebraska, I did get Nebraska. All right, let's put something on the background. What do you guys want to see? I'm open to suggestions. And also, sub to my friend. He's a nice guy. I promise. All right. What were we watching the other day? We can always. I can just put whatever.
Have the appearances, please.
County Judge Sue Upper, Leslie Basie, and Zach Witchell appearing for the state of Wisconsin.
All right, how's the volume there?
I'm here as a third-party intervener in that matter.
Solve the Rubik's Cube? I could.
For my client. I accept
Look,
the
I have it
value
here.
in return for value all of the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for the discharge of all obligations
Hello, Karen.
connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments and make a reservation of all my rights here this morning.
He likes to reserve his rights. Iowa.
Rights reserved.
Hello, Cassandra.
To you as well. The record to reflect the individual known to this court as Daryl Brooks.
Yeah, we watched the
in person
Schulten
or custody.
interview.
However, he
Is there
wearing
something in
two
his...
closed
Hello,
sleeve
Obama
tie
Green Eyes.
and
How was the
a
cruise?
Mask.
For the record, I don't consent to being called that name.
Hi, yeah, hopefully
Noted.
you're getting better with COVID.
All right,
It's
Mr.
been...
Brooks,
I
just
think
preliminarily,
it's...
do you anticipate calling any additional witnesses today?
For the record, I don't consent to being called that name. And what was the question?
Do you anticipate calling any witnesses today?
I don't believe today.
Then when?
Well,
When I
you're
was
here
watching
for
this,
the
I was like, when? So you're... Hello, Aaron. If you are not gonna present witnesses today, then when? Let's see. What can be a good thing to hear today? Nothing that we already seen. Nothing that I'm not yet there. I worked yesterday 9 hours. Guys, hey, thank you for being awake so early. I usually my day work Monday to Friday is 10 hours. Hey, thank you for subbing, Jean. Jean.
Continuation of testimony. The only witness that I'm aware of that's on your list that you added.
When he was in the other course
is
Yellow Shirt Day, when
your
he was
mother,
completely
Dawn
turned
Woods.
yeah,
So I
I'm
would expect that if
we
she's
went
going to
through.
testify,
I just
she
went
would be
through
here.
Yellow Shirt Day.
Otherwise, I will be going through the colloquy with you as to whether you intend to testify today.
I was just trapped from day
Did you
one all the way
receive
from
my,
Scotland. This
ICS
is
that I
got me.
addressed to you?
Yeah, this guy has the ability to get through everyone's skin. That's his superpower.
Do you know when you sent those?
Look, it's
Saturday.
ready. He likes to sit behind me.
So that would have been the 22nd.
Hello. Trying my best to stay warm.
State
Happy
receive
truck.
anything through
Going around plus
like the
bursts.
inter-office communication?
We have
I'm sure
not,
Don Wills
I
gave him a
just
stupid
checked,
argument.
this
Class
morning to
action
see if
lawsuit.
there's
She will never
anything
show up
new
first.
with
Yeah, I don't know why she
DPS.
wouldn't show up
And
to
see if I
defend her son. Which you realize that he keeps saying my mother Dawn Woods. Like, he doesn't get that by saying that he's acknowledging that he's he's Tara Brooks. I bartend
I
2
should
days a
say
week.
the,
I'm scheduled alone for Thursday.
clerical that
Oof,
was assisting
bartending
me went
alone
to
should
the
it must be rough.
mail
That's a
room
lot
to
of
double check.
orders. But I
So
would
not
love
only
to
has it not
know
made its
drinks.
way
If
to
you
the
have
DA's office, it
any
hasn't even
fancy
made its
drinks
way
that we
over
can
to
make,
the
I will do it.
mail room.
Like, I don't drink a lot of alcohol. Like, I just eat something with the food once in a while. Like in New Year's, I drank a red ale, which was good. The great news that Brooks and he's in the Red Board in prison forever. He was what we call in Scotland women's syndrome. Yeah, a Napoleon complex. He's really
You said
since
you
he's small.
forwarded
He
them
has
to a staff member on
to act out
Saturday?
to compensate that.
Do you know if that was morning, afternoon, or some other time?
Maybe afternoon.
Is rent cheap?
sending that. I
Yes,
will send
rent
it
is
with-
really cheap here. Well, if you compare it to everything in the US. Most people in San Diego come live in Tijuana and just commute to work every day because it's really way cheaper to live here.
High importance, and we'll see what response I
You
get.
can you're talking about
They don't
$400,
have
$500
anything.
rents.
If you want to generally tell me
For a
the
good
topic,
place.
we can cover it verbally.
I believe that a Brady claim should be visited because there were, in fact, recalls on that vehicle. In fact, there were recalls on the Ford Escape models from 2008 through 2010 in regards to the throttle body malfunction.
Yeah, I someone mentioned in the
And
comments that
causing-
Corey was in like a domestic abuse thing. I mean, moving west from there is gonna be really warm. That's what I like about here. The weather is really nice.
the vehicles to accelerate and not being able to be stopped. There is a class action lawsuit where Ford Company were sued because of this, and those vehicles, models from the year 2008 through 2010, were recalled. And that is very important information in
I'm sorry,
regards to
I'm having a Danish with my coffee.
the vehicle in
That's my
question
breakfast.
being a Ford Escape 2010.
2010.
Because of this malfunctioning throttle body.
If
for,
that paperwork was so important, why would he make it out to a Saturday afternoon? They knew
believe
on Monday.
it's-
Yeah, he's trying to
counts 1 through 73 to be dismissed.
like he wants them all dismissed. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that even if it wasn't voluntary, he will still be charged with manslaughter, right? Like he still killed those people. I did Reggie and Eric are no longer friends, but I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you see any of my videos, if you see any of my thumbnails and everything, I don't really talk about other people. I don't really talk about Corey. I don't think about Nick. I don't talk about anyone else but Darrell Brooks, because that's the point. That he's the guy that we're supposed to be looking at, not everyone else. That's why you're never gonna see me put a witness or a picture of someone or a witness or a victim. You'll never see me put that on the thumbnail. That's I don't think that's everyone can do what they want, but to me that's not cool. Hey Stacy, welcome.
All right, what's the response from the state, if any?
Consistent
Yes,
with
the
our
attorney did
research, there
such a
are
good
no
job.
active
That
recalls
got him-
listed for the Ford
Yeah,
Escape.
he's one of the.
As
I don't know
Inspector
if
Schultz
there's.
noted,
Hello, Mel.
noted during his testimony.
Welcome. I don't know if any more
Basically,
longer
the
sentences
electronic
out there
throttle body
today.
failures would have resulted in engine stall or surge while entering traffic from a stop position.
Hello,
Or
Carmen.
while driving at highway
Good
speeds.
evening.
Neither of which I believe occurred here. Further,
Sugary- hey, I like sugary
Schultz
drinks.
Would testify that that does not prevent the brake from working.
I hate making
So
martinis.
if
People are too
this
picky about
had
them.
been activated
Hey,
on this
I'm
car,
an
which
easy
it
guy
was
to
not,
please.
but
I
if it
like
had
rum,
been,
so if you got
and this
rum and
defendant would
Coke,
have pushed down on
that's
the
all I
brake,
need.
it would have stopped the car. Further, running the defendant's mom's VIN number through NHTSA, National Highway
Hey,
Traffic
thank you, Brian.
Safety
Welcome. Thank you, thank you.
Administration.
I love making these videos. I love making videos for you guys. It's been such a great
So it's a mood issue.
experience to be able to make this videos for you. I encounter a really nice community with you guys. So, and I always thank you guys. I'm never gonna stop thanking you guys
sent over
for
priority mail
watching.
the actual information about the class action lawsuit, the actual information about the
Coffee with
recalls
Irish cream.
for those models. Like I said,
good.
2008 through 2010. Now, in all fairness, Your Honor,
I'm sure a lot of people wore that shirt over the years.
that's why I was asking for a break.
All right. And I still, the thing is, we were on the holidays, so I'm gonna bring an expert. I have a lawyer that's gonna come to the show, and we're gonna make a video about subsidy tactics, and we're gonna explain what a strawman is, a set for value, return for value. We're gonna go through all of that, and I really want to make that video, but since there was the holidays, it was really hard to schedule the thing. But that video is coming. He already accepted to do it, so be on the lookout for that. I'm gonna get in contact today this weekend to see if we can do it. But yeah, a strawman is what do you call it? It's an entity, something that the government made up to represent you. All right. If anyone wants to become come to and hang out, Discord. I have a Discord which is like a forum. That's where I usually hang out. How do I do this? Copy link. I forgot how to send an invitation. Invite people. Copy. There you go. If you guys want to hang out with me and chat with me, you can join the Discord. His mom gets subpoena? Probably. Hey, Olivia. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, I'm glad that you like the content. Can you please tell me where was his evidence he claimed? He didn't have. I don't believe he had any evidence.
On this.
Like the
Serious.
evidence that he wants to put into the documents that he wants to put into the record are the judge's oath, his statement of particulars, all those nonsense subsidy things that doesn't have anything to do with the trial. It has to do with his beliefs, which it doesn't even matter. Hello, D. Lumbley? Welcome. Looking for a new job. Think you're playing the bartender, perhaps maybe. DC.
How
You live in DC,
when
Tequila?
vehicles are purchased from the manufacturer, they're still sold as is. There would be no way to know that there's anything malfunctioning with the vehicle until it actually happens.
And that's what I said in the video. Like he says in this second, he says, there's no way to know if there's something wrong with the vehicle until it happens. Okay, I get it. Cool. I'm gonna buy that from you. But if that would have happened, then we would have seen it in the police inspection. So it means it didn't happen. Hello, Blake.
And seeing this a class action lawsuit, no one would sue the Ford company.
It's really hard to say that I think he believes it, and it also helps him a lot. The thing about subsidy is that they prey on the desperate and on the desperate people, like people that are struggling with debt, people that are struggling with child support. The subsidy movement gives them an out, so they can, I don't know, get out of it, but it's never gonna work. Help his mom and the previous judge who gave him such a small bail get. I mean, we cannot get into that. That's what they do. If willing to move, there's a places here hiring. Nice. Oprah retired, but she was in the courtroom to watch closing arguments in the eye drops. Oh yeah, that eye drops thing interests me. The shocker to DB was when Detective Casey said he spoke to his mom and visited his kids. Yeah, he really hated that he went to his family.
If there weren't malfunctioning
Judges
vehicles,
have governmental
there would be
immunity.
no
They cannot be
class
charged or
action
sued unless
lawsuit
they actually break the law. Yeah, they
if
have protection.
These vehicles were not malfunctioning. And I believe with that, the information about the malfunctioning pertains strictly to the throttle body.
Let me address your
Do you guys think that he knows what a throttle body is? I don't think he even knows where that is in the car. I'm quite sure of that.
claim, sir. So, not trying to cut you off, I don't need the specifics about a class action.
I know what it
because
is.
As it relates
And I don't
to
even
this
know a
case,
lot
the
about
fact
cars.
that there's a class action would not mean there's a Brady violation by the state. In fact, you even indicate it was readily known and something you were able to find out. I'd further note that you had a full and fair opportunity to cross-examine the inspector regarding his mechanical inspection. It's not new information. Again, there was a full inspection. That report was provided to you. He testified on direct examination about there being no active recalls, and more importantly, he testified about what
He has no clue what a throttle body is or what happened if
the throttle body would have and what he would expect to see if there were any issues with it. I am aware that the ICF, I did receive an email, it's one page with what you said. I have to turn my head, I gotta figure out how to flip it. So give me a second.
Okay.
Hello, Goldie. Yeah, Olivia. I agree with you. If he wasn't able to brake, that's the first thing that you would say to the officer. It's like, I don't know, I couldn't control my car, I couldn't brake, and then I panicked. That will be my defense. At least you will be charged of running over people, but it wouldn't be forever because it wasn't really your fault, but you still did it. I don't know.
Okay, you're
Hold on, let me
I don't know how
finish
it
my
works.
record, okay? So I'm going to turn, because it's the only way I can read. It says, your ICF says the state's expert witness who did the inspection on the vehicle in this incident needs to be recalled no later than Wednesday. I just learned of some information that is extremely vital. I understand the information that you're providing me, but again, you had a full and fair opportunity to cross-examine this witness.
We wouldn't know about Marcus, the Tankia, Tyrone, all that stuff.
Information was apparently well known. I'd also note the vehicle's registered to your mother, and from my understanding of recalls, I think what is common knowledge is that a registered owner would receive information regarding the recalls and what to do, and presumably she would have provided that information to anyone operating that vehicle or taking care of it. We have none of that information before us by way of fact or even an offer of proof that even she received that information and did nothing with it, or whether
but Stephanie.
anyone else who
Never
operated
forget
that
Stephanie.
did anything with it or not. And from my understanding and review of Exhibit 83, what's important to this case is...
You guys want to continue to see this, or you guys want me to move to something else? I'm down for whatever. I just put this on in the background just to put something, but would you guys like to see another thing? Would you guys like to see a different day? What would you like? This part is fine. We can continue to see this while I look for something else.
Specifically looked at that issue nonetheless and found that as to this particular vehicle, there were no issues with that. Again, without anything further from you by way of your offer of proof, I
Okay,
can't.
this works. Okay,
make a
we're gonna
finding,
continue with
number
this.
one,
I'm gonna
there's a Brady
still gonna
violation,
be
and
eating my
number two, that
Danish.
the information you seek to cross-examine him on would have any impact whatsoever. So I'll deny the request to dismiss the case, and I'll deny the request to recall this witness.
Your
Hold
Your
on.
Honor.
Hold on. Let me have the state just make their statement. I'll give you the last word on it. Go ahead.
The Inspector Schultz's mechanical inspection report was provided to the defense on April 29th, 2022. I noted that when the defendant was cross-examining Inspector Schultz, he did have the report in front of him and was asking questions directly.
Yeah, remember when he was a little really coming home that no one, only a living human being could make a claim against him?
Related to information contained in that report.
That's not how it
Go
works.
ahead, Mr. Brooks.
That's really not how it works.
When you spoke to the owner of the vehicle, that's who gave me the information. My mother gave me the information of this. I had no knowledge until she told me. And that's how I came into the information. And she was the one that said, I'm going to send you all the information that you need so you can present it to the court. So I didn't.
I understand that, sir,
This
but
wasn't
your request
information.
is not timely. So you have had this information for quite some time, either through
I
counsel.
did not have it for quite some time.
Let me make my
It was
record.
just-
Either through
It
counsel.
was just told to
Hello,
me.
Laura.
That's not what I'm saying. You've had the
Laura.
information about this report for quite some time, either through
Okay.
prior counsel or through all of the discovery that was turned over to you when you took over your representation of your own case. The fact that you have now learned this, it's a little bit too late. You had a
Leticia
full and fair
Stout.
opportunity to cross-examine the inspector
He also never
about
gave us his
information
name
that was
while arguing
readily
the rape. Yeah.
obtainable and researchable by you prior to the time that you cross-examined this witness.
It was not readily available for me to expect at the time. I don't have access to the internet. So how would I be able to?
Mr. Brooks, you're telling me your mother had that information.
No,
So,
I'm
and I'm
telling
going to
you, she
trust.
just told me this information. I have the phone calls to prove it.
Have you ever thought of going to law school? You have a great grasp on legal principles. This is a funny story. When I was growing up, when I was a teenager, I was deciding what do I wanted to do with my life, and it was three options. Option one was being a psychologist. Option two was being a lawyer, and option three was being a systems engineer. And I opted for option three. But it was on my thought process. But when I was growing up, someone told me that there were enough lawyers in the world, so I didn't went for that. It's fun to watch him. I'm not a mechanic, but I don't see how to throw this. It doesn't have any effect on the brakes. Hannah Payne makes me irritated that one should learn the mental business. Yeah. Who is single? Who just to say that he doesn't have access to internet? Yeah, he has internet access, I think.
Understand that I'm denying the request, sir.
And
I mean, he
would-
couldn't
would
go
like
to like
uh,
YouTube, I think.
So
object
that's
to
my
that.
decision.
He
I
could
object to that,
do
Your
some
Honor.
I
research.
understand.
I
I've made my
object to that.
decision. I expect that you respect the decision, at least
No.
as we're not going to debate it further.
Yes.
I now have the
It needs to be-
ICF,
it
the
needs to
one for
be
the state to be
addressed, Your
provided
Honor.
to the state. Madam
needs to
Clerk,
be
I just gave
addressed.
that to you. All right, so,
I
Mr. Brooks, in
respectfully
light of
object.
that,
I respectfully object, Your Honor, and request the legal reconsideration of your ruling, Your Honor.
There's no way that any judge in open court is gonna be like, you know what? You asked me to reconsider it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say what I just said is wrong, and I'm gonna change it. That's never gonna happen. Never, never, ever, ever, ever. That judge is gonna lose all his credibility.
it's denied. The request for reconsideration is denied. There's no legal basis for me to do
I
that at this point.
respectfully reject that ruling and take exception to that ruling, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Brooks, we need to keep going.
For the record, may I request a legal or factual basis for your ruling, Your Honor?
I provided an oral ruling today. The record stands, sir.
For the record, may I respectfully request a written judicial finding of facts and conclusion of law on this issue?
Your request is denied.
Denied.
For the record, may I respectfully move for an interlocutory declaratory appeal of this matter?
That's the one thing, Mel. Mel, you know about and you know a lot about legal stuff. I don't know if you're a lawyer, but why is he asking for an appeal? You would ask for an appeal after you are given a conviction, not before. As far as I know. Maybe I'm wrong.
I wouldn't be the one you would make that request to, sir. So I can't
For the record,
answer
man,
that
move
yes
to
or
stay
no.
these proceedings until the instant matter is
Oh yeah, I
adjudicated
hit.
by a
I'm
court of
really cold
competent
right now. I have a
The
blanket right
request
here.
is denied.
Based on what law or fact, Your Honor?
The request is denied.
Based on what law or fact,
What,
Your Honor?
any other requests, sir? I'd like to move on.
Based on what law?
Based on what law?
There's no
Or
legal
fact.
basis that you've stated for me to do that, sir.
It has been, Your Honor.
The request is denied. The request is not a proper motion. There's no legal support for the motion. There's no factual support for the motion, so it's denied.
Denied.
For the record, it appears that this court is acting in contempt of the law, Your Honor. Can you show
Tap,
me
tap, tap,
how,
tap, tap.
where this court is following the law of respecting this matter?
That's a very vague statement,
Hello,
sir.
Tam
There's
Tam.
no legal relief that you're claiming. There's no motion before the court based in law or fact. So this court cannot address that last statement of yours.
Your Honor, with all due respect, I would like a motion for finding a fact.
Denied.
Denied.
Under what law and fact?
I
Your
made
Honor?
an oral ruling, sir. There's no requirement I do so in writing.
So you're denying a legal, you're denying a motion for finding a fact.
I am.
Mm-hmm.
So how do I know what you're doing is legal, Your Honor?
How do I know what you're doing is legal? You're supposed to know.
All right, Mr. Brooks, we're going to move forward. At this time, I want to,
How do I know that this is legal, Your Honor? Can you show me that it's legal?
Mr. Brooks, we're moving forward. So your
Doesn't
request
seem
is
like
denied.
it doesn't seem
Mr.
like
Brooks,
you're-
I need to give you some
It
advisements,
doesn't
and I'd
seem
ask
like
that you
I
stop
don't need
interrupting
your
me.
advice.
Hello,
No,
Rory.
I have to
need
give you
you-
Say hello to
advisements,
everyone.
sir, regarding
I
your
need
right
you
to testify.
I need to do your job without prejudice and without
Mr.
bias.
Brooks has
Your
now
Honor.
interrupted me multiple times. He's failing to respect the court's oral rulings here today. It's something that he's done repeatedly throughout this trial. Mr. Brooks, I need to go through some advisements. Unless you have a witness to immediately call, I need to go through this particular discussion on the record with you regarding your right
You don't-
to testify.
You don't need
Do you
to
have
go
a
through-
witness
you
to
don't
call,
need to go
sir?
through anything with me on record. You
Actually,
need
I
to,
do so,
Actually,
sir.
you
That is
don't.
required by law.
Actually, you
Yeah,
don't.
I don't really
You need
like
to do
wine
your job as
that
a
much.
public servant.
Mr. Brooks,
But I will-
Under the
I will
oath
drink
that
it.
you
I need
took,
to
Your
go through
Honor.
these advisements, and if you're going to keep interrupting me, you will forfeit your right to be present, and you
So
will be
you're holding me in
removed
contempt
to
again.
the next courtroom so that I can properly go through these advisements without being interrupted.
And I still don't have to answer. I still don't have to answer whether I'm in this court or not. So you're holding.
Yes, you need to answer to all of her questions. That's the one thing that I don't understand about him, is that he keeps saying this is not fair. I'm supposed to answer all these questions, but you have to answer none. That's not how it works in a courtroom. You're literally in her country. She can tell you what it is, and that's what it is.
Me in contempt yet again.
Mr. Brooks, I've not held you in contempt.
With all
I need
due
you
respect,
to
in Illinois
not
versus
interrupt
Allen,
me.
in
This is
Illinois
another
versus-
interruption.
In Illinois versus Allen.
Mr. Brooks,
do
I'm
they
not
say-
going to have a debate with you on
I'm
the
not
meaning
trying to
of
have a
Illinois
debate.
Thank you,
versus
Miles.
I'm
Allen.
trying
You
to have a
are,
debate.
I appreciate
you
that.
are
I'm really
advised
trying
that
to
it
understand
continued.
Illinois versus Allen.
Mr. Brooks, you are advised that
Oh, he keeps saying Illinois. Illinois. Bottle of choice. I like red wines. The one that I drink, it's called Cuatro Soles. Hello, Miss Kimmy. Yeah, this is the one that I drink. Oh, you cannot see it. How do I do it? This one. It's a good wine. It's a red wine, and I like eating steak a lot, so that works for me.
Continued interruptions will result
Hello,
in
Nancy.
you forfeiting your right to be present during this next phase of the trial.
Okay, but You saying that I'm
I've said
forfeiting
that
my
multiple
right.
times.
You
I've
saying-
given you multiple
You're
opportunities to
holding
stop
me in
interrupting
contempt.
me.
You're holding me in contempt.
Mr. Brooks,
By
I'm not holding
removing
you
me
in
from the
contempt for
courtroom.
the second time here, and I've
Your
also
Honor.
repeated that.
Your Honor,
He's
with all-
interrupting me yet again.
with all
Mr. Brooks, I
respect-
need you to stop talking.
With
In
all
Illinois
respect,
versus Allen.
in Illinois versus Allen.
All right, Mr. Brooks continues to want to debate with me the meaning of Illinois versus Allen. It is a clear indication to this court
trying to
that
understand,
he
Your Honor.
wants to disrupt these proceedings, even
That's
in
not
a
true.
mild manner tone
That's
of
not
voice.
true.
I've
I'm
reminded
seeking
him
to
repeatedly
understand, Your
regarding
Honor,
standards
because
of
it
form and
doesn't.
civility, and one of the
Illinois doesn't.
bedrocks is that he
Illinois
not
versus
interrupt.
Allen does not state.
All right, I'm going to
that-
remove him to the next courtroom so that I can go through
It does
proper
not state-
advisements with him without
It
being
does
It
not
interrupted.
does
state-
not
Clear the
state
courtroom
that
and
you
we'll
can be
resume
present from
once he
cameras.
is over there. Again, I'll
It
make
doesn't
the
state that
appropriate
you can be
findings when
present
he is
from
there.
cameras, or that you could be.
Yes, we're off the record.
Or that you
until,
could be
he's in the
okay,
other
so
courtroom.
you're
Always
making
let
it
me
sound-
go.
I actually have steak. I have a skirt. I think it's called skirt steak right now that I'm gonna have for dinner. I live in Missouri. I hate it when people call it Miss Eru. Miss Eru? I call it Missouri. I don't know if that's right or wrong. Missouri. Is that wrong?
Packet agreement for something that I.
All right, thank you. I do have verification. There are headphones on the table in front of Mr. Brooks should he
Hey, I call it right.
choose to wear them. I see he's reading from a book at the moment. I do need to make a record that this morning, although Mr. Brooks was not raising his voice, there were repeated interruptions. He wanted to debate rulings that I
Hey,
made
a lot of people in
after
Missouri.
the fact. Just this morning alone,
Hello, J-Man.
about 26,
Oh,
27.
Speaking of jumping off the divider, did you guys see the guy that that jumped the judge? You guys want to let's see that. I haven't seen it. Let's see that right now. Judge, no, hold on. Jump, judge, judge. There you go. This.
After that brutal
You see that? Wow. I'm an hour north of Kansas City, but my father's in Kentucky, so I was commuting a couple of days a week. Yeah, that's nice. So athletic to do that. Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, nice flyover, Nevada. Yeah, it was close to me. It was in Nevada. Tacoma, I found that disturbing to he attacked her. Lara. This is like this.
after that
This is why we need shock shackles. Like, look at the height of this guy. This guy should have been in the shock shackles. But he flew over her. Like, look at this. He's like 5 feet above the air.
brutal attack in a Las Vegas courtroom, officials
went
providing
for
a
her.
highly anticipated update on Judge Mary Kay Holthus.
Judge Holthus was injured and received medical attention. She remains sore and stiff, but thankful it was not more severe.
Judge
Yeah, those kind of guys don't really do anything.
Holthus releasing a statement thanking well-wishers, writing, "I am extremely grateful to those who took brave action during the attack." The shocking incident captured on courtroom cameras playing out as the seasoned judge was sentencing 30-year-old Dio Brereton to prison for attempted battery. The defendant...
Okay, so he was on attempted battery. If someone, I think this should be the way that it is. If someone is in trial for a violence, for a violent crime, they should always be shackled to the table. I don't care if they're there for domestic, if they're there for assaulting, if they're there for all of that. I think they should be shackled to the table. I don't care.
who has a history of violent assaults, jumping over the bench, tackling her to the ground, and sending a court-martial to the hospital. The terrifying episode calling into question security procedures in our nation's courts.
Yeah, get him.
How common is it?
I love this guy. Look at it. He went straight for the liver.
her to the ground and sending a court-martial to the hospital. The
Hello,
terrifying
Peepsky.
episode calling into question security procedures in our
Get him.
nation's
Oh,
courts.
Get him.
How common is it to have attacks or threats like this in a courtroom?
Attacks like this, these emotional, impromptu acts of violence occur probably daily in courtrooms across the country.
Like this incident in Mississippi, a suspect caught on video throwing things at the judge. But Las Vegas officials say they've never seen anything like this.
There's plenty of instances where somebody is, becomes rowdy in the courtroom, and this is the first one I've seen where somebody supermaned over the judicial bench.
Redden faces multiple new felony charges of battery, including battery against a protected person, meaning the judge and her court staff. According to court records, he refused to appear in court Thursday to face those new charges. Clark County's district attorney says the court is now reviewing its security protocols.
Thank you.
Redden's reaction happened so quickly, I don't know if anything could have been done to prevent him from what he did.
Now, according to those court records, Redden is set to return to court on Tuesday. Judge Holthus is still planning to oversee that hearing where she's going to sentence Redden for his initial crime. The court does plan to add another court-martial for extra safety. And we did reach out to Redden's lawyers, but they're not commenting, Craig.
All right. Glad that judge is okay. Liz Courts for us. Liz, thank you.
Hey, thanks for...
That was something that I wanted to... I didn't want to make a video about it. I didn't think I had too much to input into that one.
Different
But,
times
yeah,
he
I wanted to
interrupted
see it
me
with you
or
guys.
spoke over me. I advised him that if he continued, he would forfeit his right to be present in this
I
courtroom.
hate this. I hate when he parades the Bible like it's it's a shield for him. It's not even what it needs to be.
And would be taken to the neighboring courtroom. I believe I gave that warning at least twice. I do appreciate that this morning he didn't yell at me.
What phone is it? I'm really sorry for your loss. I'm sorry. What kind of phone is it?
He didn't raise his voice. He
I'm
didn't
sorry.
speak in an angry tone. But given the history in this case leading up to today, and knowing
Because if it's an iPhone, I once had to unlock one that we didn't have the account for, and I just have to call Apple and explain the situation, and they usually help.
what this court needs to get through in terms of whether he has any witnesses or whether he intends to testify himself, there's a very important colloquy I need to have and an advisement of his rights that I need to go through, and I simply am not able to do that with him constantly interrupting me. And of course, last Friday was, in my opinion, probably one of the most challenging days, I should say, to date. Mr. Brooks, you have been muted. I will make that, put that on the record as well. I will unmute though and ask Mr. Brooks, because you did not answer the question previously, other than you potentially testifying on your behalf, do you have any other witnesses present at the courtroom, at the courthouse to call today? I need an answer to that question, sir.
No response.
So we addressing subject matter jurisdiction that we haven't addressed when I was just over there, or since I've been over here? Are we addressing subject matter jurisdiction?
I'm going to mute him just for a second.
I don't think he's ever going to be in general population. He's gonna be alone in a cell for the rest of his, let's call it, life.
And no, I'm not going to address subject matter jurisdiction. This is a common ploy by Mr. Brooks. When I attempt to go through certain things with him, ask him questions, he tries to divert our attention away to subject matter jurisdiction. I have issued a written decision on that. He has not filed any type of interlocutory appeal regarding that. This court's position is there is subject matter jurisdiction, and I'll deny verbally and orally at this point his request to dismiss the case based on a lack of subject matter jurisdiction. Mr. Brooks, I will be asking you a couple of questions. I do need a response. I am unmuting you.
The thing about subject matter jurisdiction is that according to subsets, the only way that the government can have jurisdiction over you is if is if you sign a paper surrendering your life to the government. That's the only way. They always put the example of the military. When you sign up to the military, they have jurisdiction over you. So they're gonna ask, where is the paper? Where's the actual paper where I signed that you guys have power over me? That's the reason why he keeps stressing it, because there's no way that they can have that, because that doesn't exist.
Do you have any other witnesses other than yourself available at the courthouse to call this morning, meaning now?
This is the jurisdictional challenge right here. So are you going to address subject matter jurisdiction and prove it for the record or not?
So I've asked Mr. Brooks twice now whether he has any witnesses to call other than himself. He has declined to answer that question. Sir, if you fail to answer that question, I will interpret your failure to answer that as a no, and you will lose the opportunity, you will forfeit the opportunity to call any other witnesses on your behalf other than yourself. So I will ask you one last time, sir, do you have any other witnesses at the courthouse available to testify right now? I'm not getting a response at all.
Am I unmuted?
You've been unmuted, sir.
You just said I was muted, so I'm not sure. I don't know when you muted me or when I'm not muted.
Well, me muting you doesn't affect you being able to hear the court, because
Yes, it does.
that
It doesn't.
only
It does.
mutes your audio coming into this court.
Like, this moment is really key. Like, he says that when she mutes him, it does something with his audio, which is not true. And then he says when she calls him on it on the record, he said that that's not, he never said that, but he's saying it
Courtroom,
right
I
now.
confirmed already
Why is my
that
audio muted to begin with?
that is simply a misstatement. I confirmed with the bailiffs that the audio and visual were
Why is
working.
my audio muted to begin with?
Because you interrupt the court
Yeah.
repeatedly. So I'm going to ask you yet another way, even though for 3 times now he has failed to answer this court. You indicated last week that you would like to call your mom as a witness, Dawn Woods. You were provided with notice that the
It
state
feels really wrong saying you have to call your mom. Mom, please come save me from being 1,000 years in jail.
would not be assisting with that in any way. You indicated when that was said that if you wanted your mom to testify, she would obey you and she would be here. So I trust that you've made arrangements for her to be here. Are you going to call Dawn Woods as a witness this morning, and specifically now?
Well, maybe a long time is like a year that he's been in jail.
I will ask him a second time. Sir, do you have Dawn Woods available to call as a witness this morning? He's been unmuted though, for a while now. We can obviously hear him. I will ask Mr. Brooks a third time for the record. He's finally putting on the headphones. Is Dawn Woods in the courthouse available to testify right now? Do you intend to call her?
Hold on.
Hold up.
For the record, Mr. Brooks only puts on the headphones when he's in the other courtroom. He does not put them on when he's in here. The audio and the visual work just fine in that courtroom.
When I'm in the actual courtroom, I can hear it. I don't need to be muted.
Mr. Brooks's statements that the audio doesn't work when I mute him is simply false.
I didn't say nothing about the audio not working, so you need to stop lying on the record.
I'm not lying on the record, sir. I've
You are lying
confirmed.
on the record.
All right, I'm going to mute him once again because now he's raising his voice. Now he's angry.
I get it. I get the arguments about Dawn Woods being at fault here. Yes, Dawn Woods is an issue. But the way that I see it, he's a 40-year-old man. Right? As a 40-year-old man, knows what he's doing. You know? He takes his own decisions. It doesn't matter what his mom is. I hold him accountable for all that he did. Like, I don't believe that anything that other people does affects what you do. So that's the way that I see it. It's his fault. He did it. It was his decision, no one else. So that's why I always direct my thoughts to him, because he's the one that he did it. He's the one that took the decision. And I get it. Enable him is one thing, but he still did it. He still took that decision.
He's thrown the headphones. He certainly does not seem to want to answer any of the questions this court has. I asked him 3 times if he had any additional witnesses to call. I warned him that if he did not answer that question, he would forfeit his right to call additional witnesses, other than perhaps himself. I then specifically asked him about Dawn Woods,
Basically,
because
at the
that
age
is the
of 9.
person he
Oof.
indicated he wanted to add to his witness list last week, and I granted his request to do that. I asked him twice. He did not respond to that. Based upon his failure to respond, based upon this court advising him that if he failed to answer that question, he would forfeit his right to present any additional witnesses, again, other than perhaps himself, I'll find that he has forfeited his right to present and call any additional witnesses based upon his conduct in this case. I would like to go through a number of advisements with Mr. Brooks regarding his right to testify. I will unmute him for that. I ask Mr. Brooks to put on his headphones if he is unable to hear me, and just to be 100%.
But you guys, I've been reading a lot of comments that today was the day that she said tacit correctly. But ever since the beginning when she started saying tacit, she also said tacit. So he heard her before saying that. But now is I guess the day that he got it.
Safe and secure on the record. I'd ask the bailiffs who are over there to advise him. I'm going to directly be speaking with him, and if he's unable to hear me, to put on the headphones at this point. He's unmuted. I've also been advised by not just the bailiffs who are over there, who I can hear through the audio, but also from the clerk who's in that courtroom, through my clerk who's in this courtroom, that the audio is very loud and clear. I will advise you that if you refuse to answer my questions, refuse to acknowledge me, you can forfeit your right to testify on your own behalf. Mr. Brooks, you need to be aware and are so advised that you have a constitutional right to testify.
Yeah,
did you hear me say
agreement
that?
at 8:40. Yeah, he always tries to threaten the judge. Like, I'm gonna do this if you don't get it, if you don't do what I say. But that doesn't work.
There's no response by Mr. Brooks, and he does not have the headphones on, and he has a book in front of him, although I haven't seen a page turned. If you testify, sir, the state has the right to cross-examine you. That means to ask you questions after you give your initial testimony. Did you hear me advise you of that? No response by Mr. Brooks. Sir, you also have a constitutional right not to testify. If you decide not to testify, you are further advised that doing so cannot be used against you, and I would so advise the jury. Did you hear me advise you of that? Once again, no response by Mr. Brooks.
By the way,
the decision
I was thinking that this is why you guys should be on the Discord. I was thinking of doing merch. I don't know if you guys will be interested in doing merch, in getting merch from me. But I got this idea that I wanted to run by you. And it's a shirt that I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it. It says this. Yeah, all of the suddenly is a funny one. Like, let me see how can I make it smaller. See, wait, what do you guys think? I thought it was funny, and I don't know if I should put it misspelled or how it's actually spelled. But what do you guys think about it? I know it's misspelled. But yeah, that was just an idea that I had.
To testify is for you and you alone to make. Did you hear me say that? There's no response by Mr. Brooks. It's my understanding that Mr. Brooks has the equivalent of a 12th grade education, that he attended school either up to or through 12th grade, and either has a GED or an HSED. There's been some conflicting information on paperwork throughout this case, but I'll find that he does have a high school education. He is currently in custody, of course, at the Waukesha County Jail. I'm not aware of any medication that he has been taking. Sir, have you taken any medication within the last 24 hours or any drugs or any alcohol?
Yeah, he thought that being mute was his best strategy.
I'm not receiving a response to that. I'm aware that he's able to read and write English. I would refer back to the record made during my colloquy with him regarding the waiver of counsel and his ability to be aware of rights, his ability to, I made a finding at that point of his understanding.
Hello,
and
Sophie.
based upon his
Hey, thank you.
conduct throughout this trial.
Hello, Nancy.
Including the waiver of right to attorney hearing, I'll make a finding that he has the ability and understand, he can read, write, and understand the English language.
Now he
You've been
listens.
unmuted the entire time, sir.
So what are you talking about? Are you talking about subject matter jurisdiction and how you're going to verify it on record?
So he did not answer my question if the record's not
Hey,
clear
thank
about
you.
whether he's had any drugs, alcohol, or
I just got
medication
up
within
and
the
got
last
into
24
streaming.
hours.
I'm not even, I
I'll
didn't
ask him, sir,
feel
has
like
anyone made
doing my
any
hair,
threats
so I
against you to
just put on
influence
a
your
cap.
decision on whether to testify on your behalf in this trial? Although he turned and said, "What did you say?" Again, I believe he's fully able to hear this court at this time based upon how the audio is functioning in the other courtroom. He did not respond to that. Has anyone made any promises to you to influence your decision?
You saying. So if you can hear me, I don't hear everything you saying, and you know I don't hear everything you saying. So cut the crap.
Mr.
Can
Brooks,
you imagine an actual lawyer telling her, can you imagine Zach Wichow telling the judge, cut the crap? I think he will have he will be fined or reprimanded or something. He wouldn't be able to do something like that.
is interrupted with very disrespectful words at this moment. I believe that he is feigning his inability to hear and that he's done so throughout this case. There's absolutely no indication. He puts the headphones on when he wants. He takes them off when he wants to. While in this courtroom, he hasn't had them on. He's only used them while in the other courtroom. But again, I've confirmed multiple times that the audio is loud and clear. And his statements that he can't hear, his statements that when I mute his audio, that it mutes his audio, are simply false. Mr. Brooks,
hello,
have you
Robert.
Am I still unmuted?
You are, sir.
Hey,
I'll
you
make a
guys,
record that-
Robert is my friend that I was telling you guys about the one that has the Lego channel that we were watching at the beginning. So please go subscribe to Robert. Here's the link. He has great content.
Per the lieutenant over in the other courtroom, the volume is 2 to 3 times louder than it is in this courtroom.
You need to stop making false records saying that I said I can't hear you at all. I said I have trouble hearing you when I'm over here. That's what I said. So I would appreciate it if you would make the record clear and correct.
Clearly,
Clear and
he
correct.
heard me say that for him to make that distinguishing statement.
I'm sitting right
So-
here. Don't you see me looking all up to the microphone so you can hear me?
With the
I
microphone?
don't have
Or
an
can
issue
you hear
hearing
me
you
when
at
I'm
all,
right
sir.
here? Can you hear me when I'm right here?
Yes.
I can.
And he is covering his microphone. You see that?
Once again, per the lieutenant who's been in both of these courtrooms, the volume in the adjacent courtroom where Mr. Brooks is at is 2 to 3 times louder than it is in this courtroom. Mr. Brooks, have you made a decision?
What about this courtroom?
Have you made a decision to testify in this case?
Yeah, this is, if you see down here on the bottom left, you see that the other microphone is covered by the box.
Now, have you made a decision to tell
I
me
will
that
ask
you
you
have
again,
subject
sir.
matter jurisdiction?
Have you made a decision to testify
Have you made a
in this
decision to
case?
address subject matter jurisdiction? Have you made a decision to be impartial? To answer what your name is? To answer if you have a claim against me or
I'm
don't
going to
you
mute him
have a
for the
claim
moment
against me?
just because, once again, he's attempting to divert away from what this court needs to do by going through the proper colloquy with him regarding his right to testify. He is asking me about subject matter jurisdiction. He's making statements about this court that are disparaging and about my oath. Again, a clear attempt, in my opinion, to simply stall these proceedings and to disrupt them. I will unmute him and I will ask him for a third time with the understanding that if he fails to answer the question in the affirmative, I will interpret his failure to respond as a no and that he is not going to testify. So once again, I am unmuting him. Sir, have you made a decision on whether to testify in this case?
Remember when he said that he had his kids with him every day? Like, I think all of his children live in different states.
There's no response by Mr. Brooks. I will ask it yet another way, sir. Do you want to testify
I don't
on your
think he ever
behalf
finished that
in
letter.
this case?
Am I unmuted?
Yes, you have been. Sir, do you want to
How long have I been unmuted? 'Cause you just
Sir,
said
do you want to testify in
you
this
just said
case?
You was muting me when I had the headphones on just a minute ago. You just said you was muting me. So when have I become unmuted? Or did you even mute me in the first place?
Mr. Brooks, I'm asking you one last time. Do
didn't
you
ask
want
me
to
nothing because I haven't heard nothing that you asked. So how you gonna ask me something and then just answer for me?
Mr. Brooks, do you want to
You can't answer
testify?
for me.
All right, I'm
You
going
can't
to
answer for
answer.
me.
I'm going to
You
mute
can't
him
answer
again.
for me.
Again, it is very clear to this court that he uses the statement that I can't, that he
He's like,
can't
well,
hear.
whatever,
as a means
I'm
to
taking
delay.
off the headphones.
It's a distraction.
I don't care.
It's very evident that he hears this court. Mr. Brooks, are you aware that you have the constitutional right to testify?
Are you aware that you're practicing law from the bench?
Mr. Brooks, do you understand and are aware that you have a constitutional right not to testify?
I don't understand. No, I don't understand.
Are you aware that you have a constitutional right not to testify?
I don't understand, and I'm not aware. So why are you asking me questions?
All
right,
I'll
Sarah,
do
thank
this
you for
another
stopping
way,
by.
Sir. Sir, you are advised that you have a constitutional right to testify and that if you choose to
I don't
testify,
understand.
that you
I
would
don't
be
understand.
subject to cross-examination by the state. Did you hear me say that?
I didn't hear you say anything. I don't understand what you're asking. I don't.
He is
understand.
willfully choosing not to answer that. Sir, you are also advised that you have a constitutional right not to testify.
Your Honor, with all respect, you've been trying.
Did
to
you hear me say that?
answer questions for. I didn't hear you ask me anything. And
Sir?
I don't understand.
Stop talking and I'll ask it again. Sir,
Can you
Laugh
ask
on
me
the
to stop
bench.
talking
I'm asking you to stop interrupting me so that you can hear the questions, even though I fully believe you.
You mean imagine him in closed car doors, Erica, Sophie? Because that's the only doors that he had.
Hear them. I will attempt to do this one last time. All right, then let's. Once again, Mr. Brooks is being disrespectful. He is blurting out information. He reverts back to subject matter jurisdiction. He accuses this court of not honoring its oath. He just accused me of practicing law without a license. Again, all attempts to deflect away. I'm going to mute him once again. This court has simply tried to no avail to get Mr. Brooks to answer simple questions. He has done nothing to demonstrate to quorum.
I have my
again,
on.
Repeated interruptions. It is, again, from my perspective, simply a tactic on his part.
Hello, B. Blanco.
To delay these proceedings, to disrupt these proceedings. He reverts back again to things like subject matter jurisdiction, practicing law without a license.
Nope.
Then he makes requests about interlocutory appeals, etc. He is what I would describe as a stubbornly defiant individual who simply wants to say what he wants, when he wants, without a filter, without regard to the rules of evidence and the rules of procedure.
Yeah, I'm not a person, I'm a human being.
Witnesses to present
I don't consent to be called he.
Before I bring the jury out, I'll ask the state if you intend to call any rebuttal witnesses.
We have no rebuttal case, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, they don't need to do anything else.
Mr. Brooks to be
Hello,
brought
Clayton.
back over so that
I remember
he
you.
is
I
present in the
I remember Clayton is one of the OGs. I remember that he was commenting on videos from the beginning of the Darrell Brooks trial. I can clearly remember him when he first saw it. Good to see you, man.
courtroom when the court advises the jury that the defense is resting. I realize that will be over his objection. I'd ask that he honor that. Mr. Brooks, I'm going to unmute you. If you can pledge to this court that you will honor that ruling and that you won't challenge that directly in the presence of the jury, I will bring you back over
I'll be back in a second.
for that. Are you willing to make that pledge, sir?
Make what pledge? I'm not making no pledges.
Sir, you
asked me a question now I can't answer.
Yeah, no, go ahead, answer.
You're trying to coerce me into violating my right to remain silent. How can you coerce me into my right to remain silent? So you're not going to protect my constitutional rights? Because I didn't answer nothing that you was trying to ask me before when I had the headphones on, and you can't make a decision for me. You can't do that. You're violating my constitutional rights.
Sir, if you'd like to testify, then you need to simply go through the colloquy with this court, which I've given you 3 opportunities to do, and you have decided not to.
No, you can't tell me what I decided to do, because I didn't decide to do or not do anything.
Are you willing to...
Your Honor, by law, you cannot coerce me.
I'm not coercing you, sir.
Well, you're making a decision for me based on something that
All
I
right,
did not say myself.
that's better. I
Last
don't really
Friday,
like wearing hats.
I specifically directed your attention to State versus Anthony. I discussed very briefly at the end of the day on
Hamilton.
Friday the case law that is relevant on this topic, including State versus Anthony, Rock versus Arkansas, and Chambers versus Mississippi, to specifically put you on
Goodbye,
notice.
Laura.
Did you recall what was going on Friday?
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to mute him. Again, I'm not going to have a debate. I've made a finding. I've given him yet another opportunity. If he's willing to go through the colloquy with the court,
Barb.
he wants to challenge me instead and saying he doesn't consent. I'm going to leave him in the other courtroom. The jury's going to be brought out, and he will remain muted, and I will simply advise them, as I have throughout this case, that he's appearing from another courtroom. And that
Hello,
his
Katsuki. Hello,
appearance from
Soso.
the other courtroom should not in any way be held against him or influence their verdict in any
I
way.
like cats. I had a cat growing up.
That there are no further
Hello,
witnesses
Christina.
for the defense, and then I'll ask the state if there
I
is
have-
any
I hope
rebuttal,
no one is
and then the
coerced
jury will
to
be
watch this
excused.
stream.
For the day, I will
Under duress.
advise Mr. Brooks that if at any point in time he wants to come back over, he needs to advise the bailiffs, but it does need to be accompanied by a pledge. All right, let's have the jury brought out.
Hello, Allegra. Welcome. Bienvenida. Hello, Lady Miss J. Glad to see everyone here. I love having time to do these lives and have and be able to communicate with you guys. It's like I said, I read all the comments and I try to answer as most that I can. But
ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at
it's
the
really
moment,
great
Mr.
to
Brooks is
be
appearing
able
from
to talk
another
with you guys
courtroom.
live.
This must not be held against him in any way and must not influence your verdict in any manner. At this time, I will advise the jury that the defense case is rested, and I'll ask the state whether there's any rebuttal evidence to present.
No rebuttal, Your Honor.
All right, then with that, I will declare the evidentiary phase of this trial concluded. I'm going to excuse the jury for the remainder of the day so that the parties and I go through all of the jury instructions, and I anticipate bringing you in tomorrow morning. Instructions may very well take most of the day. My hope is to then have the closing arguments and then have the case be turned over to the jurors. If not,
Yeah,
by
thank you guys for
tomorrow
liking
evening,
the
sometime
stream.
Wednesday morning.
We are 104 so far.
With that, all rise for
It's
the jury
awesome to
then.
be with you guys right now. And one of my favorite things is that when he's muted and he starts yelling, you can clearly see that he's yelling. Hey, but we cannot hear any of that.
Thank you. Be seated. Before
1,000
we begin,
years.
I will have Teresa print off what at least we do have for both parties. I'd like to take a short comfort break. I'll invite Mr. Brooks to come back over, and then we'll start with that jury instruction conference. We'll take about 10 minutes.
But
Thank
yeah,
you, everyone. We
one
are
of the
in
things
recess.
that I
Mr.
wanted
Brooks,
to
continue.
do with merch was, one of them was obviously the shirt that I showed you guys, but I also wanted to do one of these hats, and it would be like here where this has this, it had my logo. I want to do a white cap with a purple logo and a purple hat with a white logo. I love purple. I'm sorry. But those are my ideas. Good morning, Chris.
To appear
Hey,
from the
Australia.
other
I would love to
courtroom.
go to Australia
I
someday.
would like
Rory's
to
over here.
make a record regarding the audio and visual from the other courtroom. I've asked that one of the bailiffs who was present.
Hey, thank you for
during
becoming
the
a
last
member,
session,
Blanco.
Present in that courtroom, come to this courtroom. I'm going to put him under oath and have him testify about the audio. I also have information from Zach Tremaine, our IT specialist. He too will take the witness stand. Thank you. And you are a Waukesha County Sheriff's Deputy?
Yeah, wait.
And have you been assigned to work this case?
So how long until the game is
And
on?
were you present
Okay,
in
an hour.
courtroom,
Wait 1 second. I
20
gotta
this
get
morning
ready for game
with
day.
Mr. Brooks when he was removed from this courtroom to that courtroom?
I was.
And did you make any personal observations regarding the audio and visual setup that we have over there?
Both the audio and visual were working properly. The audio was a lot louder than it has been in the past while we were in that room.
Did you have any difficulty hearing the court?
I did not.
There we go. That's better.
And then, of course, you could see through the cameras from this courtroom into the neighboring courtroom.
I could.
All right. That's the only record I wanted to make. State, have any questions?
Just briefly, Deputy Kibler.
Hey, thank you for
the
becoming a member, Bama.
Defendant asked many times if he was muted or unmuted. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Can you confirm that even on the occasions when his microphone was muted, the audio in the courtroom continued to work?
It was.
And at any time while Mr. Brooks was muted, or even if you didn't know, at any time did Mr. Brooks ask to be brought back over to this courtroom, sir?
He did not. He is telling us he prefers right now to be in that courtrourroom. He did not
Yeah, I don't
want
think
to
he's
come
built
back.
his fort yet.
All right, thank
We
you.
are
Those
not
my
there yet.
questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Brooks, you are unmuted. Do you have any questions for this deputy?
No.
Oof,
All right, thank you.
Packers.
You may step down. All right, then I'm going to have Zach
Let's see if they
Tremaine
can
also
make it.
take
I
the
think
witness
if they
stand.
win
I'm the IT
today,
coordinator
they have
for
a.
Marshall
If they win this week, they have a chance to
Were
get into the
you in
playoffs.
courtroom 20 this morning?
But Jordan Love
following
hasn't
Mr.
been
Brooks
what they
being,
needed to be.
Taken
It's
to
good.
that courtroom?
It's okay.
Temporarily, I
But
was
he's
there
still
when the
really
call
green
started,
right now.
And then we came back to do a measurement of the
Like the Bay,
later.
the Green Bay Packers.
There's a document or a photograph that's displayed on the monitors throughout this courtroom. Can you tell me what we're looking at?
So my phone is in the photo, overlaid on top of what we call the X panel. It is our AV control panel. So you push buttons on it and actions.
Yeah, we
happen in the
watched
courtroom,
that video
AV-related.
before,
At that
like half an hour
time of the
ago.
photo, my phone
Hamilton.
is registering 67.3 decibels.
Rory's
in
right
that
here,
courtroom, and
man.
that was when the judge or the court was
wanna
talking.
say hi?
And then the sound was coming
she's
over
laying
the
down.
speakers in the other courtroom.
And what, if anything, based on your training
Oh,
and experience,
no,
can you
she's
tell
here.
me 67
Packers is a
decibels
football,
means?
like
Plenty loud.
NFL team.
For
Hey,
comparison,
there
I
she
did
is.
a quick
Hello.
reading in the media pooling
Hello.
room, which is CG6 in our courthouse. The meter there was reading between 55 and 65. So it's louder than the audio feed going to the media right now.
Your Honor, for the
I'm
record,
doing
this
good,
photo
Dari.
will be made a court
Dari.
exhibit.
Yes.
Welcome
Okay.
to the stream.
Mr. Brooks, any questions for this witness?
For the record, I don't consent to being called that name. Do you know anything about the hearing when someone has hearing loss in any of their ears?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I do not.
13-year-old is a really good age, but I'm sorry. It's never easy.
I can tell you what the readout of the room is. Beyond that, I don't know.
Well, I can't see what photo that everybody else is in there seeing that was supposedly
Hey, thank you, Derry.
I
I appreciate you watching. Yeah, I lost pets on the past, and
I'll have to
it's
show
never
you that
easy.
in a different way. I don't have the Zoom up and running, which would have
It's
been
really-
the
it's
mechanism
always
to
fun.
allow for an exhibit to be displayed. I can start that and have that up momentarily. Fair enough.
Yeah, he's just laying back. He's just like, are we done?
All right, now the court is sharing screen.
Yeah,
and
he had his Green Bay Packers
image
slippers
is
on.
being displayed. You see it? Okay, thank you. Any questions regarding that then, sir?
Nope.
You don't know if
Hey, Gizmo, that's a nice name.
you hear everything you do in your courtroom, correct?
I do not, correct.
No further questions.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll stop sharing. Okay, thank you, Zach. You can step down.
Yeah, he was watching
Now,
the Packers.
I need to get a
He has his
copy
Green
of
Bay
the
Packer
Jury
slippers on because it
instructions.
was
They're
game
quite
day.
lengthy. The record should reflect that Mr. Brooks was provided with a written copy. It's 107 pages, and the state was provided with a written copy as well. Again, it's all the same, 107 pages, and then my written copy is on its way.
I set the value, return the value each document. That's if I'm not muted.
You're not muted.
I also would like to again ask for subject matter jurisdiction to be proven on the record.
Yeah, it wasn't. They were
Your request
Brewers.
is denied.
They were the
It has yet to be verified.
baseball team.
Your request is noted.
Your Honor,
It's denied. Without further hearing
Hello,
or
Rosado
consideration.
Rolon,
I was just told
Puerto Rico. I have a friend that
every
his parents are
insurance
from
phase is
Puerto
supposed to be
Rico.
closed. How come I haven't been able to present
Welcome.
my evidence into the record as I've asked numerous times
Hola,
on the
hola.
record to be able to do?
I would love to go to Puerto Rico someday.
Said I have numerous documents that needed to go into the record. Why have they not been permitted to be made evidence?
Because they're not evidence. They're nonsense.
I didn't rest my case, so I don't know why that's being told. And I have yet to be able to offer my exhibits into the record for evidence. How is that so, Your Honor?
I specifically found that you forfeited your right to present any further evidence or testimony when you failed to answer my questions regarding
No,
the
you
calling of
cannot have Rory.
witnesses. And then I also
She's with
declared
me.
that you forfeited
She's
your right
taken.
to testify. Specifically as it relates to your trial filing, sir, I would note that all evidence in a trial must be proper, it must be probative, it must be relevant, and it must follow all rules of procedure and all rules of evidence. To the extent that you wrote all of those documents, sir, that would be hearsay. And for that reason, I'm denying your request to make them part of the record.
They were not hearsay, Your Honor.
Goodbye,
I
Christina.
did what you told me
Thank
to
you
do.
for
You
stopping
told
by.
me, since I was representing myself pro per, that I had to write everything out and present them to the court.
So that's not what I said. You're misquoting me, but in any event, I'm
No, that's
denying
what
your
you said.
request. I
So
said,
you're saying that I have no right to present evidence and to have exhibits as the state's been able to do.
Mr. Brooks,
Are
I'm
you
not
denying
going to
me
have
my-
a debate about this
Are you
now.
denying me-
I gotta
are you
mute him
denying me
once
your
again.
right?
So
She gave him the book with the rules of evidence. It's not any document that you want to put out there. That's not how it works.
Mr. Brooks, I have muted you because I declared the evidentiary phase of this trial closed. You forfeited your right to present further evidence and testimony previously.
I love
by
that he's
refusing
yelling
to
it. He
answer
takes
court's
off the
questions.
mask to
I
yell.
will specifically address the filings. Number one, it is not true that I advised him that any filing would become evidence. That is simply false. Number two, filings, I told him if he wanted to present motions, should be written down and should be based in law and fact and request specific relief. I'm well aware that previously he has referenced he would like his filings made exhibits. I've reviewed those filings. There's nothing relevant, nothing probative, or the information contained therein is hearsay. Mr. Brooks would have needed to testify regarding any statements that he, from himself, testimony. He cannot simply put in an affidavit. That's not proper. That's hearsay. And he hasn't asked in any of those filings that he hasn't put forth any exception to
Bradley,
the hearsay rule.
our defense this year is killing it. Our defense, I'm really proud of the way that we rework our defense, because they've been, like, you watched the Dolphins game last week? That was incredible.
That would allow this court to admit his written filings. I believe without fail they are all irrelevant, not probative, and hearsay, and therefore not admissible. So we're moving on to the discussion of jury instructions. When Mr. Brooks wants to abide by the rules of decorum and civility, I will unmute him. He clearly just took the entire packet of jury instructions
Tylenol is
and
not
put them-
evidence.
I don't know what's under the table, if it's a garbage can or if he just simply put them under the table, but they are no longer in front of him. I will, however, unmute him so that
All right, Tony.
we can get his feedback.
Charge your phone.
Regarding jury instructions. It's typically a back and forth. We'll go through them. And I'll ask the parties whether there are any instructions they believe should be included, and we'll have a discussion on that. And then we'll talk about whether any of the instructions that are in here need to be modified in any way, taken out, edited, etc.
Beauty.
All right, you're unmuted now, but but you have to not interrupt.
You can't, I'm not trying to interrupt, but how can you deny me the chance to put on the adequate defense by saying nothing that you told me to do can be presented into evidence? So you filed them, you filed everything that I gave to you, you
Right,
filed.
Mr. Brooks, I'm
And
going
that's
to
all I'm
mute you
saying.
because this is not relevant
All
at
right,
this time.
Christine, have a good
He's
night.
raised tone of voice. He's very animated. He threw the jury instructions on the floor. I understand you're upset, sir. I made specific factual findings. I've referenced the law. And
the
you being
headphones
upset
are out
with the
again.
decision is not going to change my mind. He's also taken the headphones off. It's his choice right now whether he participates in this jury instruction conference. It is his choice. But if he is going to spout off about
Remember the next day when he says jury instruction conference? There was a conference. Yes, this was the conference, but you didn't notice it because you were doing all this other stuff.
things that I've already determined, I will continue to exercise the mute function on the audio equipment. I'll unmute him again, but
And why does he have the mask when he's on the other courtroom? What's the purpose of that? He even takes it out. It's another prop to him. I don't know why he does that.
But you are advised, sir, you need to be
He's nowhere
proper.
near anyone.
You need to not interrupt, and you need to stay on task, which is we're discussing jury instructions, not other evidence, not subject matter jurisdiction, not your belief that I told you to file things a certain way. We are now discussing.
You see that he closed the Bible. He's getting ready to leave. He's like, I'm not gonna stay here.
Jury instructions.
And then he asks to leave.
So once again, I'll
And
unmute
he's
him
denied.
to see if he can follow these simple rules.
You need to tell me why I can't present evidence.
Because it's
How
not
can you
evidence.
deny me the fact? How can you deny me my right to present evidence?
All right,
I
I'll
told
mute
you
him
before
once
this.
again.
Right, Mel,
because
I don't know if you're there, but when does it say that he can present evidence as a right? I don't know the amendments, but I don't think that's exactly what it says.
He wants to continue, and again, I understand he's upset.
Oh yeah.
I understand that.
I really hate when he doesn't have the mask on. Like, seeing his whole face is really disturbing to me.
But he has himself to blame for his conduct this
Should I start
morning
wearing a
and
mask?
the rulings that I've made.
Do I even have one?
All right, so let's go through these jury instructions. Has the state received a copy of the draft?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Brooks, do you
I don't think I
acknowledge
do.
receipt? I believe you did by acknowledging it previously, but you acknowledge receipt of the draft of the final jury instructions.
I don't acknowledge nothing, and I don't acknowledge anything now. I have not received anything.
I would ask the bailiff to
I
pick
don't
up the
see.
documents from the floor and put them in front of him.
And
once
I'm
again.
I'm not presenting it to nothing I don't give my consent to. You can't deny me the right.
Yeah,
to
he
put
has
on
to abide by the
How can you
rules.
tell me when I done stated
I'm going to
3
mute
or
him
4
once
times?
again because, again, I understand he's upset.
I also love this guy that he looks at the camera and then he puts the papers down so we know that he put them on the trash can. I love this guy.
If the bailiff could confirm, well, he put him on top, he put him on the floor. That's his right. They're not in front of him, but it's by his own conduct that he's done that. I know one of the things I probably need
Yeah,
to
I
look
also
at-
don't get why he's doing the inside out mask. I really don't get it.
I'm not sure if Madam Clerk did this or
I
not.
truly believe that
The
he believes that
language
he's
from
using
the
it the right way.
amendment From the amended information on count 70.
Yeah, I don't have a mask to put on.
No, I don't want to do that. Oh, you don't? I changed. Hold on.
Oh, here he goes. Oh
70
wait, did I miss when he almost falls down?
The 76 count. Just want to make. It says near frame park.
I know,
So he's in there, but that was just one question I had.
It gets me every time. I really hope, I really wish that the chair wasn't there. That it rolls out like whatever, and let's watch that again.
It says near frame park, so it is in there, but that was just one question I had. All right. There's 107 pages. I certainly can give the parties some time to.
He
to
just
need to
fell
read
flat on the
through
floor,
them.
and they wouldn't need to pick him up.
Mr. Brooks is requesting to go back to his cell. At this point, I'm going to deny that request.
Good. That was also almost my thumbnail. Like, this
Fine,
was
I'm gonna deny that request.
almost was my thumbnail. This. I just I wanted to get this and just cut it out and put it there. I might actually still do it. I can just cut this part and put it on the thumbnail. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Yes. Yes, I still have that file. I'm gonna do it. I love making thumbnails for this. By the way, guys, if you ever want to go back and watch, if for some reason you guys want to go back to my older videos and you see a funny frame of Brooks, I'm gonna remaster all my thumbnails because the ones that I did at the beginning are a little bit bad because I was just starting and yikes. But I'm gonna remaster them and put a different pose from Brooks on each day, on each part. So if you guys see anyone that you guys like, just comment on the time spot that you guys want to see, and I probably gonna use that one. Yeah, because right now I've been using one for each day, like one pose for all the day, but I want to change that.
I know he's muted, but I can certainly hear him from this side. He appears to be yelling at the top of his lungs. I can't decipher what he's yelling.
Hello, Goldie. He loves pointing. And he's yelling that way, so he thinks that they can hear him. And he takes off the mask and he starts yelling to that side. Yeah, someone has made cartoons of Darrell. And remember when they take out the boxes
Mr.
and
Brooks, if you have specific
and he's like, I didn't put them so she couldn't see
or
me.
categories of instructions that you believe this court should consider, I need you to write them down on a piece of paper.
Hello, Allison.
If you don't have, I believe I see a writing utensil. I'm not sure if I see a pad of paper. We'll make sure you have that. But given your current demeanor, which is still seems quite animated, and a loud raised voice, I'd ask that you write it down.
Yes, write it down, please. Yeah, I also feel sorry for the bailiffs. They're like, I don't get paid enough for this, man. They wish that they were deaf when they were with him with Darrell Brooks. Look, he loves pounding the table. Yeah, you can hear him yelling. Oh. Like he's checking Facebook right now. Yeah, he's just like, he's browsing Reddit.
I just want to make a continuing record that Mr. Brooks is still, I can still hear him even though he's muted due to his level, his tone of voice and volume level that he is using from the neighboring courtroom. Mr. Brooks, I'll advise you once again if there are any specific requests for either instructions or categories instructions that you want this court to consider, please write a note to pass to the bailiffs who can let me know.
Fine.
Do you have any requests as it relates to instructions that are not in the packet that should be?
No, Your Honor.
All right, let me turn to Mr. Brooks just to get whether he has his list.
Here we go.
I'm not asking for a response yet, Mr. Brooks. What I'm asking you for is whether you have any requests for jury instructions, or if in your review you think anything needs to be changed, deleted, added, etc. I know I'd ask that it be put in writing, but I'll also give you this opportunity to verbally advise the court and make your requests. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir? I would note he put 2 boxes right in front of where he's seated, so I can't presently see his face. I see his jacket is off, so I can see the outline of his arms, and I can see the jacket on the back of his chair. He is unmuted.
Ah.
I've confirmed previously regarding the audio working, and I will just ask him a second time, sir, do you have any requests as it relates to the draft packet of jury instructions, whether that be any additions, corrections, edits, or deletions?
Nothing at all.
And Your Honor, would it be possible for the bailiffs to just move the boxes off the
Yes,
table?
please.
Yes, I think that's fair. I'm going to advise the bailiff to remove the box so I can see Mr. Brooks. I don't know what he's doing behind there.
Hey, Danny. Welcome to the live.
If you could move the second one because it can interfere with the microphone as well.
And the third one.
And the third one.
There we go. His fourth was destroyed as easily as his argument.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to ask you for a third time. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? Any requests for instructions that aren't included that you believe should be included? Any edits or deletions from the packet that has been provided to you?
Hey, why do you tell them to move my box?
Because I couldn't see you, sir.
The what? The what?
I've asked you twice now, and I'll ask you a third time. Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? Any additions, deletions, edits, or otherwise?
Hey, man, you don't got to talk to me like that.
She can talk to you whatever
Do you have
she
any
wants.
requests? Related to the jury instructions, sir.
Man, yeah, I got requests. It ain't like they gonna be honored though.
As it relates to the jury instructions, sir, what are your...
I heard what the hell you said, man.
Well, Mr. Brooks, that
Again,
was very disrespectful.
if any judge, if any attorney talks to another judge like that, he's gonna be held in contempt and spend the night in jail. It doesn't matter if he apologizes.
Yeah, and I've been getting disrespected since the beginning of this whole process. So welcome to the club.
Welcome to the club.
Mr. Brooks, do you have any requests?
I'm tired of my rights being trampled on here too. I'm tired of it too.
Do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
Ain't nobody understand why I'm frustrated. How you gonna sit up there and make decisions based on what you think I said when I didn't get consent for you to do any such thing?
Sir, I understand you may be upset, and I really do, but I've made my determinations.
You don't understand nothing. You don't understand anything, Your Honor.
Wow.
You don't.
I'm going to mute him again because
Hey, John, thank you for being a member. Welcome.
Very clearly asking
Welcome,
him.
welcome.
I've given him 5 opportunities. Mr. Brooks, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions? I'll unmute you for that answer.
I can't hear everything you're saying.
And put the headphones on.
Mr. Brooks, I know the audio's turned up. I believe you can hear me. You've chosen not to put the
Hey,
headphones
Judge Zoro
on.
will
That's
make
your
a
choice.
great Wonder Woman.
My final question
I could
to
see
you,
her.
do you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions?
I just told you, am I muted?
Yes.
Am I muted?
No.
No.
I just told you, I don't know how many times, I can't hear everything you're saying.
Then you should put the
What about
headphones
that
on.
Don't you understand? What about that don't you understand? If you see headphones, you can see everything. You can see boxes, but then you see headphones.
Have you asked for
You gave them the headphones off. You had them before. And you gave them away. So now you're saying that you don't have them, but that's your own fault. Why does she have to deal with it?
headphones to be provided, sir?
I should have to ask for them. I asked for my boxes to be moved.
I believe they took them away previously because you were so agitated. They were perhaps afraid you might.
No, he
Yeah,
gave them
I'm
to
still
him.
agitated. I ain't gonna stop being agitated. That ain't gonna stop. You sit up here and do everything you doing and think God don't see what you doing. You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Why is he bringing God into this? There's nothing that doesn't have to do with any of what she's saying. So why is he bringing it up?
Brooks, do you have any requests as it relates to the jury
Yeah,
instructions?
I can hear what you're saying. I can hear what you're saying.
You just told me you didn't. So which one is
Yeah, I
it?
got the headphones on. You can't see that?
Don't you see
What are
that?
your requests as it relates? What are your requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir?
Man, don't try to come with this whole little image.
Hello, sprinkle cake.
I'm gonna get where I'm going.
Yeah, we all know where you're going. we know exactly where you're going after the trial, and you know where we're going where you finish your sentence. We're really aware of that.
On this little act like you so worried about what's going on with me. You don't give a damn. Never did.
Mr.
Why would
Brooks,
she
you're
care?
being disrespectful
Why would she care about you?
again.
You've been being disrespectful. You've been being disrespectful.
I need to know what your position is regarding
Yes,
the
I do IT for a living.
jury instructions, and I need to know it now.
What you mean? Who you talking to?
I'm talking to you. I need to know whether you have any requests as it relates to the jury instructions, sir.
Yeah, first of all, why am I charged with 2 bail jumpings when I was already charged in Milwaukee for the same bail jumping? That's double jeopardy.
Hey,
It's
nice.
not double jeopardy. Your objection is noted. It's overruled.
We IT guys time together.
How you gonna charge me with the same charge that I'm already charged with?
My field, I do security mostly, but I also do servers, I do switches, I do like basically implementation.
In jeopardy of life and limb. Twice. I'm already charged with the same count in Milwaukee. This for the same case. It's the same bail jumping charge. So how am I charged with that here?
Sir, I'm not going to provide.
Well, this is his nonsense thing. Oh, I'm sorry. We yeah, we stick together. Why is he talking about the jumping charge? He doesn't.
Legal
He
explanation.
loves to say double jeopardy because it's a long word. That's the only reason why he likes double jeopardy.
Other than to say I've reviewed that, your objection is noted, but the jury will be instructed regarding the bail jumping.
It can't be because that's double jeopardy. Under the law, if two charges are identical in nature, you cannot place me in jeopardy of life and limb twice. You can't do that.
What's your next?
That only means that you cannot get convicted twice for the same charge. Doesn't mean that they cannot charge you twice. It's different.
The same case number.
What's your next request, sir? I'm noting your objection.
I'm trying to talk. Can I get it out?
No.
You always want me to not interrupt you, but you always find a way to talk over me.
I understand your position. I'm saying it's overruled.
You always want respect, but don't want to give it. I'm charged with the same bail jumping charge here that I've already been charged with. That is double jeopardy. You can't.
That is not double jeopardy.
For the same exact bail jumping that I'm already charged with, that I was charged with before this even came about.
Sir, the bail jumping charges in Waukesha County are based upon your violating your bail while in Waukesha County by driving through the Christmas parade and allegedly killing 6 people and injuring 61 others.
Okay.
That's the distinction.
Again, there is no distinction. It's the same charge.
It is not.
It's the same offense. It doesn't mean it's the same factual basis, sir.
Okay.
He's not charged with bail jumping with the data violation of November 21 in Milwaukee County anywhere. Further, the double jeopardy prohibition would prevent him from being convicted twice, not charged twice.
There you go. That's
All right, so
all that he
we've
needs to
addressed
hear.
that, sir. What other requests do you have as it relates to the jury instructions?
I want to know why I'm even charged twice with the same thing. You can't charge me in pursuant to a case in Milwaukee that I'm already charged with bail jumping for. I'm already charged with bail jumping for that already. So you can't essentially say, oh, well, because you were already on bail, we're going to charge you.
It's a different data violation, sir. The conduct for the bail jumping is related to the allegation that you committed a new crime in Waukesha County while out on bond from the Milwaukee County case.
Right.
Yeah, but I'm referring to the first bail jumping count. The first. I'm not referring to both of them. I'm referring to one of them.
My understanding, sir, is there's different dates of violations as it relates to that. So I've noted your objection now repeatedly. I understand it. Your request to,
Hey, California Dreamer.
I guess, dismiss
Welcome.
the bail jumping counts are denied.
I didn't say nothing about counts. I said one.
At the end of the day, he only wants one count to be dropped. He's arguing so much, and he only wants one of them to be off.
It's denied.
Yeah, and it's denied already.
You can't charge me with the same charge twice. You can't.
It's two separate cases, sir. There's two.
Is it that 971?
No.
Is it that the statute that refers to the double?
All right, sir, I'm not going to have an argument. This isn't fruitful. I understand what you're saying. You're saying there shouldn't be two counts of bail jumping. You believe it's double jeopardy. I disagree with that. There's separate.
I'm already charged with it, though.
This is a circular argument, sir. It doesn't change the fact that, from my perspective, the two bail jumping counts are going to proceed forward. There's been sufficient evidence presented to warrant the jury being instructed.
They can't.
What other requests do you have, sir?
Yeah, that's what I said on the video. Like, if he steals a TV in Milwaukee, he wants to be able to steal a TV in Connecticut, and they're like, you're charging me twice. It's double jeopardy. You cannot charge me twice for the same crime. But they were two different TVs.
Don't talk over me. Just like you don't want me to talk over you. Just like you don't want me to talk over you. Just like you don't want
Mr. Brooks, what other requests do you have?
And I just asked you.
Ask you.
I just asked you not to talk over me. You've been making your record the whole time you've been over there. You had me muted. I didn't see no requests over there. I didn't write nothing to go over there. I let you do what you was doing. No matter how egregious.
And notice, hello David. Notice he keeps saying, I let you do this. I allowed you to do this. You don't have to allow her to do anything, my guy. He's gonna say whatever. She's gonna do whatever she wants.
Do what you was doing. Because we both know that what you're doing is not right.
Mr. Brooks, I'm going to refocus your attention to the jury instructions. All of your objections are noted. I understand that. If you can't answer my question, I'm going to move on.
The one he's in is only for him.
I haven't given you consent.
All right, I'm going to mute him once
Thank
again.
you.
He refuses to answer simple questions regarding if he has any requests. He just made an argument regarding the bail jumping, so clearly he has an understanding about the law as it relates to that. It may be a miss.
All right, I never unlocked Samsung's phone. It has. Does it have like a pattern, or does it have like a code? Because, but I would just call the Google service line and tell them the situation. I think that I'm sure they will help, but I haven't unlocked one of those. I'm sorry.
misunderstanding about the law and double jeopardy, but he made an argument. I've denied it. I'd like to know if he has any other requests. If he can stay on topic, I'll I will unmute him again, and he can tell me the list, just like the state went through a list. I need to get through their list. I'm asking you to list out all your requests, and then I will take each one up in turn. So here is your opportunity to give me your other requests, not debate with me about prior rulings. Go ahead, Mr. Brooks.
Don't sit up here and
All
try
right.
to play no games.
I'm really done with this arguing with this part. I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. We're gonna watch a little bit when he comes back to court, and then I'm gonna call it a day. But yeah, I'm over that argument. Like that's too much. His speech is gonna say the same thing over and over again. So let's do this.
All right, we are back on the record. It is 1:01 p.m. State versus Brooks. Appearances are as they were before. I would note I have instructed, and Mr. Brooks is present in this courtroom. Prior to the, I understand your objections noted.
I don't want to be in this
If you
courtroom.
would like to go back to the other courtroom, sir, you may, but that is a choice that you would be making. I am not requiring you. I'm not forcing you at this time.
So you're not holding me in contempt?
Sir, I am.
She literally just said, "I'm not gonna do it. It's only something that you want." And he's like, "I mean, being held in contempt." What? You asked to get out. And then when she's like, "Okay, you can get out if you want to," he's like, "Are you holding me in contempt?" Huh? What?
Not requiring you or forcing you to go into the other courtroom.
He never told you
It
that.
is
You
a
said that you wanted to
new
go.
part of the day. I thought it appropriate to have you brought here,
Why?
and only if you forfeit your right by conduct will I put you back in the other room.
So
All right.
you gonna address subject matter?
You guys want me to comment on this attire? I'll do it. I'll do it in the old-fashioned way. There you go. All right. In this episode of Live Suit Watch, we have Mr. Darrell Brooks here, sporting his awful yellow shirt. Underneath that, I believe he has the orange uniform, which I think he will be better just removing the shirt and the tie and just being in that. He has the purple and blue tie that I hate. That is, I think, I don't know if it's blue or purple. I hope it's not purple. He has the mask, the backwards mask, and like I said on the video, that's a 0 for me. It doesn't have any points. It doesn't have any redeeming values. It cannot be saved. It's just never. So I give it a 0. And since he's Darrell Brooks, that's -2 points. So he's still getting the -2. There you go.
Matter of jurisdiction for the record, are you gonna state it on the record?
I'm declining to address that on the record for the reasons I've previously provided to you, not the least of which is I have addressed that by way of a written decision.
And it hasn't been proven for the record. You
Your
have to state
objection
it
is
on the
noted.
record. Can I go back in the other courtroom? Because I'm not.
Get out. Just get out.
Mr. Brooks, I do want to go over
We don't
the
have.
jury instructions.
I don't understand the
verdicts.
jury instructions. I don't understand anything that's
Anything.
in these proceedings, and I'm not going to participate in something that I don't understand.
That's your choice, sir.
May I please go back into the other courtroom?
You can, based upon your choice and your request, I'll make a finding that he's forfeiting his right to be present in this
I didn't forfeit
courtroom.
anything. I asked.
I understand you've
So I
asked,
didn't-
but
I
I
didn't
feel it's
forfeit
important to
anything.
also make a finding based upon your conduct.
Based upon what conduct? Me asking?
Yes.
Are you willing to expressly waive that right on the record right now?
I'm not gonna expressively waive anything.
I'm a sovereign citizen, but I have my rights. That's not how it works.
Are you willing to engage in a colloquy regarding your rights?
Yes, I'm gonna watch all of it. I mean, right now we're on day 14, so I think it's like we have like 3 days left. So we're almost at the end. So I need to start figuring out what I'm gonna do next. But we're still going through this. We still have like a week or 2 weeks more of Darrell Brooks.
To be present in a knowing and intelligent and voluntary waiver of that right?
I am not going to consent to anything that I don't understand, and I will not answer any questions that I don't understand. I'm merely making a request to not be present in these proceedings.
And to be in the other courtroom.
Again, as I've stated numerous times now for the record.
Hey, Paula. Hey, New York. I really want to go to New York. It's one of my places that I want to go next.
I will not answer or comply with anything I do not understand. I'm not making a voluntary waiver of anything.
If I have you stay in this courtroom, are you willing to follow the rules of decorum and courtesy?
I do not understand the question you are asking.
Are you willing to not interrupt the proceedings with disruptive behavior?
Hey.
I do not understand.
Yeah. The box people that he brings in those boxes. That's why the boxes are so heavy, because he brings all these people. These people are inside of it. Remember the lady that was on that other video?
The question is that you are asking.
Well, given that he won't answer the questions directly, for now he is to remain in this courtroom.
I'm requesting to not be in this courtroom.
But you won't.
Hello, Super
You
Kelly.
won't answer my questions regarding that, sir.
I did. I told you I don't understand.
That's not answering the question, sir.
You asked me a question, I answered it. I don't understand. How can I answer something that I do not understand, Your Honor?
All right. Let me start with the jury instruction.
You'll
There
start
is
with,
one I
you
would
start
like
with subject
to.
matter jurisdiction?
Nope.
No, I've declined that already, sir. I'm not going to address
Under
that
what
further.
law? Under what lawful law?
Sir, please do not interrupt me again with the topic of subject matter jurisdiction, or you run the risk of forfeiting your right to be present in this courtroom.
Then let me go in the other courtroom then.
Oh.
Are you willing to engage in a discussion about that, sir? I need to make an appropriate record.
I just told you that I don't understand the questions you're asking. What do you want me to do?
What do you want me to do? Well, get a grip. I love this face. She's like, whoa, he just said that? This lady's face is, he has to hold it in. But she's just like, what?
I can't answer something I don't understand.
I believe you're choosing not to answer them,
You can
sir.
believe what you want to believe. I believe that you hiding stuff from the jury. I believe you haven't been impartial or fair. You haven't let me even enter anything into evidence, which is my right to do so.
Hey, thank
But
you
it
for
doesn't
watching
matter
the
what we
video.
believe.
I
Your
love
Honor.
doing this live.
I'm merely stating a request to not be present for these proceedings. I cannot answer the
Sir,
questions you are asking me because I don't understand them.
You understand your right to be present in the courtroom. Are you telling me you
I don't understand
that right?
anything. Nope. I don't understand.
I don't
Nope.
understand anything.
Then you're gonna stay here.
That's
For now.
that's one of the most childlike things he does all trial. Let's hear that again. Nope.
In the courtroom. Are you telling me you
I don't understand
that
anything.
Right?
Nope. I don't understand. Nope.
Nope.
Then you're gonna stay here. For now.
And under what lawful law? You can't force me to stay somewhere that I'm making a request not to.
Please, I'm making a request to not be in jail. Please. And I love that this is the day where she forced him to stay an hour overtime. So she's like, you know what? I can make you stay there, and you cannot do anything about it.
You can't make me understand. You can't force me to understand what I don't understand. You can't force that.
I need to address one of the jury instructions, number 315.
So, Your Honor, I'm trying to make a request to not be present in these matters without disrupting the courtroom, as you say that I do, and over talking you, as you state that I do. I'm making a request merely to not be present for these proceedings. Obviously, I'm not needed because every decision that's been made here today has been made without my consent. That's clearly telling me that I'm not needed. I have never consented to anything that's going on here today. I haven't even been allowed to present any evidence.
I think I should be 180 pounds now because I've been slacking on the gym and I ate way too much in December, so I'm probably 180 and I'm 5'10", so I have a good weight advantage on this guy.
Which is something that I stated weeks ago. Weeks. You already knew, Your Honor, that I wanted things
Hello, Mini T.
to present into evidence. I've asked numerous times for that and have been denied. And I don't understand why I'm not being able to adequately defend myself.
Because you don't have a defense.
I made a finding that you forfeited your right to present further testimony and evidence through other witnesses, and then you forfeited your right to testify on your behalf. I'm not going to revisit those.
Yeah, he's definitely
I'm not
lighter.
asking you to revisit them, but I'm just they weren't correct.
They weren't correct.
I understand you will
Because
disagree
I
with
never
that.
I'm not asking you to revisit your decision, but you should revisit them.
consented to it and I never answered something.
I understand
And
you
I
did
just
not
stated
consent
the
to
reason why I didn't answer, because I don't understand. You cannot force me to understand what you're asking me.
Sir, I could not even get through the advisement. You wouldn't even listen. You talked over me repeatedly.
Was that from the other courtroom or in here? Because I've been over there all morning.
To the place that you are requesting to go back to, right?
You sent me into the other courtroom.
You're right, I did.
Right.
Yes.
So I've been over there all morning.
Hey, thank
An
you, Jan.
adequate
And
audio and visual system
Thank
you,
connecting
Ann
the two
Jacobs.
courtrooms.
I
Your-
The
appreciate
your-
functional equivalent
to
of being
your
present in this
equivalent, to
courtroom.
your equivalent is adequate, but to mine is not. Seeing as how you always state Illinois versus Allen, you always state that, but it never refers to a fourth option that you refer to. It never
Mr.
refers
Brooks, I'm not
to
going
that.
to debate this with you. If you continue to bring up subject matter jurisdiction, Illinois
I didn't
versus
bring up
Allen,
subject
the
matter
decisions that I
jurisdiction.
made earlier,
I'm trying to figure out why I'm being
then
held
you
in
are
contempt.
frustrating the purposes of this hearing
I'm trying to
right
figure out
now,
why I'm being held
which
in
is to
contempt.
finalize the
And
jury
then when
instruction and the verdict forms.
Your Honor, I'm merely trying to understand why when you hold me in contempt,
I never held
Never.
you in contempt, sir.
you attempted to.
Nope.
Ah, the
never
hat
attempted
is
to hold
here.
me
It just
in
it
contempt.
No, sir,
itches.
there-
I don't
again,
really
I'm not
like.
gonna revisit
I love
all
wearing
of these
hats, but
issues.
When
I don't like
asked
wearing
you
them
where you
inside.
hold
Are
me in
you
contempt,
going
you
to
said civil.
respect
I
the
can be hip with the
decisions that
kids.
I've
Look,
made
They're
by
not
interrupting
they're not
me?
correct decisions, Your Honor.
I understand that. You'll
I
have
can't answer. You asked me questions. You asked me questions.
yes.
I didn't answer them based on my understanding. How can you force me to understand what you're asking me if I don't? And then you still make a finding based on that. How is that lawful law?
Mr. Brooks, I stand behind the record that I've made today.
And that's fine. I'm not
And I'm advising you
arguing
that
with
if
you
you
about what you
continue
rude.
to talk
I'm saying
over
how
me,
can you do that without my
If you
consent?
continue to raise issues that I've
That's
already
a violation
addressed,
of my civil rights.
if you continue to raise these
Hey,
issues,
Nancy,
sir,
thank
and
you for the
purpose of this
super chat.
court, which is to finalize the
Thank you.
jury instruction and the verdict forms, you will forfeit your right to be present in the courtroom, and you will appear from the other courtroom.
Okay.
Absent you, I know you've
I
requested
just
to be
made
there.
I made a request the moment we walked in here to not be present for these proceedings, but yet
But you
still
also won't have a dialogue with me about your understanding
because
of
it's
what that
my
means.
Fifth Amendment right. I'm exercising my rights that I reserved from the moment we walked in here this morning. You can't force that. You can't force me to do anything, actually.
Yes, she can.
No,
She literally
but-
can say you're out to the other courtroom and you're gonna be there. She can force you to do a lot of stuff. So
I can make certain findings that you forfeit rights
You
that
can't
you have based upon your
and based on
conduct.
what lawful law, Your Honor?
I've cited
Hey,
the law
thank
this
you for
morning.
this
I am
$5
Illinois
moving
versus
on.
Allen, right?
oh,
I am
That I
moving
can be
on.
let's bring
present
Rory
from
out.
another
She's
courtroom.
here. She's right here. Hey, thank
If
you,
I
Rory.
forfeit
Discuss
my right-
instruction
You have $5
315,
now.
Your Honor,
because
I don't
believe some language
understand.
needs to be modified based upon the court's earlier ruling.
I don't
Yeah,
understand.
yeah. People like you.
I don't
People like you more than
understand
they like me.
and I think that should be stated for the record. If I'm telling you repeatedly, Your Honor, that I don't understand, you can't force me to understand. That's a violation of my constitutional rights to try to force something upon me. That's coercion, Your Honor.
Coercion.
Mr. Brooks, I completely disagree
No,
with your
no.
characterization of the proceedings
There you
this morning. While it is true that you did not provide consent, you were entirely uncooperative with court.
All right, Derry.
Because I didn't understand. I'm explaining.
Thank you for
why,
stopping by.
I'm not trying to leave it where it was at. I'm attempting to.
Hey, Ireland.
I'm attempting to.
So
I'm gonna go explain myself of why I did not answer. It was because the way that you're making it seem is that I intentionally didn't want to answer, and that's not fair.
I'm moving on to instruction.
I'm moving on.
And I still don't understand. So how can we even proceed?
Mr. Brooks,
if I'm telling you I don't understand
that I'm asking you to be
No,
quiet?
I don't.
No, I don't.
No, I
Mr.
don't.
Brooks, please stop
And
interrupting
for the record,
me.
I don't consent to being called that name, Your
You
Honor.
clearly hear me, sir, because if you didn't hear me, then you wouldn't make that statement. So I
Hearing
know
and
you can hear
understanding
me.
is two different things.
I know you can hear me, sir. I'm asking
Hearing
you
and
to
understanding
stop
is two different
interrupting
things.
me.
I'm not trying to interrupt you, but you're gonna at some point you're gonna ask me my opinion of what's going on, and then when I tell you I don't understand, it's gonna be taken as me trying to delay or trying
If
to do
you
this or
stop
trying to do
talking,
that.
I will explain why I'm bringing up instruction 315.
And I'm not gonna understand your explanation.
Well, you
I'm
can't
not gonna
say
understand
that
you.
if you haven't heard what I have to say.
Didn't you try to do this earlier before lunch?
But I need to clarify something. It's titled "Defendant
Hello,
elects
Jennifer.
not to
I don't know if I already said
had
hello.
it in there. However, that instruction should
I like to
really
ask
only
him.
be
A lot of
given
people
if
would like to ask
requested
him.
by the defendant. There has
Med-
been
medieval
no request
style.
made. And obviously this court made a finding that he forfeited his right to testify. And absent Mr. Brooks requesting that instruction to be in, I believe it would not be proper for this court to include 315 in the instructions to the jury. Mr. Brooks, do you have any position on whether this court should include instruction 3?
Yeah, he's really exhausting. That's why I can only make one video a day. Because hello, Glenn. I don't know. You're not Glenn. I'm please tell me a different name that I can call you, because I know who Glenn Serio is, and I don't want to talk. I don't want to think about him. But hello. Yeah, he's exhausted. That's why I only have the strength. Rihanna, okay, I'll call you Rihanna. I don't have the strength to do more videos than that. But speaking of exhausting, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm sorry that to people that are just coming in, but I need to go eat something. Nothing to do with law, but you're a day with I don't think so. I don't know. But yeah, that's gonna be it for today. I have to go eat something and get ready for the game. Go Ravens! Woo. Hopefully, let's see how the backups do this week. But yeah, thank you guys for stopping by. I'm gonna come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow morning. It's gonna be 8 a.m. Pacific. So I don't know which time is that for you. But hello. Playing tired. But yeah, come back tomorrow. I'll be here tomorrow. We're gonna watch more stuff. Thank you everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed today. I was able to give a little bit of entertainment for you guys. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great rest of the day.